I've got a present for you. Today we are watching You Are in the Matrix, bruv.
Oh, I've got a present for you. It's called a knuckle sandwich.
Anyway, today we are watching 10 spooky solutions to the simulation hypothesis.
Basically, cut out the big words. 7 solutions to the Matrix.
Are we part of the Matrix? Are we AI? Were we AI? What has happened? We're going to find out.
One of the spookiest prospects of the reality of our universe is the idea that all may not be as it seems. We collect data, do experiments, confirm attributes and laws of the universe, but there are also unknown areas of science that not only do we not currently understand, it's a very real possibility that we may never understand them because it's simply not possible to do so. There may be knowledge that the universe simply doesn't allow us to know, by virtue of not providing a means to figure it out. This ranges from all sorts of ideas within science, from the multiverse, which may never be testable, to what if anything existed before the Big Bang, again which may never be testable, to other dimensions that may only ever be hinted at, but ultimately can't be proven. But perhaps the most disturbing of these ideas is the concept that the universe may actually be some kind of simulation that might run on completely unknown rules, such as a prohibition of a full understanding of the universe. And thus
that could be, right? Because if it's a simulation, all computers have malfunctions.
Yeah.
Right? Every bloody one of them since they've ever existed. At some point, they go wrong.
Go all rogue.
Yeah. So if there's like disasters or changes in certain patterns, then is that a program that's malfunctioned or a virus that's intercepted?
You mean like if there's like a tsunami, a tsunami could be a program that's gone...
Yeah, or
wrong.
like we're the virus in the program and the tsunami is the bloody...
we're
the antivirus is trying to wipe us out.
Yeah, like hurricanes.
Yeah, we're the anomaly,
and we're trying to be wiped out.
Yeah, the program, the Matrix, is trying to wipe us out.
But we just keep reproducing at a faster
rate. And then on a universal scale, right? Black holes. That's another antivirus.
Yeah,
it's like all this peasantry's been going on in the universe, and the program's like, no, delete.
Do you know what a black hole would be? The recycle bin on your desktop, where you just put everything in it.
That's what.
And then once you click delete, it never comes back. But it had to go somewhere.
Yeah, but then this was my theory. What I said at the beginning, what I told Chris on, was there anything before the Big Bang? Right? As, if I'm correct, Newton, was it Newton?
Could have been.
No, Einstein, sorry, not Newton. Einstein said for every reaction there's an opposite and equal reaction, right?
So there had to be an opposite to the Big Bang.
If a black hole sucks everything in and destroys everything that exists, then the Big Bang must have been a white hole which does the opposite and blows everything out.
Like that?
Yeah.
That's a good theory.
That's a logical theory.
That is
based on Einstein's theory that there's an opposite reaction. If there's black holes, there has to be white holes. Yeah. And maybe black holes have sucked in so much that it can't handle it no more, and it's shot it out the other end, which is the white hole.
What if the white? Listen to this. What if the white hole isn't on the outside of the black hole, but on the inside of the black hole?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So that inside the black hole, there's another
like
universe.
A release gauge.
Yeah, it's like another universe in there. It's like a wormhole. Just never ending. You go into one black hole, you get another universe. You go into another black hole.
Well, we will never know because you can't get past the horizon.
You will next year because I'm going to launch you into a black hole. And then you can tell me what happens if you ever come back.
Why can't I say that word? Anomalies.
Oh, anomalies.
All the anomalies that we have are created by... What's the guy called in the Matrix? The architect.
Oh, yeah.
To delete bad programs or bad juju.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Simulation can't be proven, baked in by whatever the simulator is. if it's anything at all. So here are 10 solutions and their implications to the simulation hypothesis. Number 10. We are the byproduct of an alien simulation. One of the
Plausible.
most vexing aspects of the simulation hypothesis is that it appears to be impossible to know for sure what its purpose would be. That would only be known to the simulator, if even that. There's no rule that says it has to be rational or have a purpose. In fact, it's possible that we are an unintentional side effect of a simulation.
So we're the virus.
Yeah. Or if somebody created the simulation, they could have created a simulation, died, or gone off to do other things, and accidentally we've spawned.
So basically, it's like someone's set up a game of Sims and then had enough halfway through and just let it
come back 10 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's essentially it. We're in a game of Sims.
See, I think we're the aliens, mate. We don't belong on Earth. Like, how is it rather coincidental that we need a specific amount of oxygen and carbon dioxide to be able to live, right? If we have any more oxygen than we do on Earth, it would poison us.
It's not just that.
The human body makes no sense.
It's not just that. Think of all our entire ecosystem, like molecular makeup of like oxygen and stuff.
Yeah.
All animal species on Earth there's something perfect for them in Earth. Not just us, a whale, a bear, all of these things, a bee, all of these things that have to have specific different things, but there's enough for us all to fit into different scenarios within the same scenario. Isn't that mad? If you think about it, it's not just us. Like you said.
But how is it we're the most intelligent species on the planet, but also one of the most vulnerable? Without our brain, we would be completely useless. Our body is prone to disease, it's prone to cold, it's prone to hot, it's prone to the exact need for oxygen.
Maybe that was part of the simulation. Big brain, vulnerable, mega strength, thick as shit. And it was a test.
Yeah, but if there was somebody creating a simulation, why would you make a human in the first place? Because
he just said it doesn't have to be part of logic, does it? If you try and think about it logically, you don't know whether the creator is thinking logically. This could be just like The Sims, where it was like, oh yeah, I want to play this game.
This is why if there's a God is not human.
No, it can't.
God has only ever been perceived in a human form because it's easier to understand, right? But if you was God, you would not be human.
No, you would be.
The human's worst trait is greed.
Yeah.
If you had the power to create life and take it away,
you wouldn't.
We wouldn't exist.
Technically, God isn't from Earth; He's from the sky.
It's not a he. It's not a she.
Yeah.
It's a.
If He's not from Earth, therefore He is alien. He is foreign.
Yeah, but He's not from anywhere. I don't know why I said he again.
Yeah, it's just common, isn't
God.
it? Yeah.
That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, we'll stay out.
Anyway, we'll get back to the video.
A peripheral byproduct of something greater. The idea goes like this. An alien civilization in a progenitor real universe sets up a simulation of a universe so advanced that it is indistinguishable from reality to anything inside it. The simulation may be for purely scientific purposes. An example would be how to study how universes ultimately form and evolve, from the moment of their Big Bang to the cold end of the universe. This may have a practical purpose. The alien civilization may be interested in seeing what the end of their own universe will be like. We already construct rudimentary models like this in science, but this would be a model on a much grander scale than anything we've ever dreamed of or are likely to ever do. But in a complex simulation, complex things can happen, and, in this case, a biogenesis on a planet that leads to intelligent life purely by chance and accident. Perhaps it's so rare and unintended that it only happened once in the entire vastness of the simulation, leading to the possibility that we are alone, and the great silence is to be expected of a simulation of a physical universe.
No.
This may all seem very complex, probably impossible in our own universe to
I can't accept that.
This is just one theory, though.
I just mean the part where it's like biological anomaly. I'm not saying
anomaly.
Whatever he said about biology, right?
Yeah.
It created life on Earth.
Yeah.
And only Earth in the entire galaxy.
In his simulation.
There is evolution everywhere, right? It's how things survive.
Yeah, but he's saying it within a context of a simulation.
Yeah, but
so maybe they created the simulation.
In the entire universe.
Maybe the entire universe, each planet is a simulation, and they were meant to follow the same rules. And this is the only planet with an anomaly that created human life.
Yeah, but it's an overall simulation. It's not each individual planet is its own simulation.
No, that's what he's saying. It could be. Each planet is its own individual simulation.
That's not what he said.
Is it not?
No, he said that an alien species created a simulation universe that resembles their own universe with planets and stars and all the rest of it in it. So it would be a universal biological anomaly that created human life.
Yeah. Unless they are the human life.
Never do, and highly unlikely overall. Just the same, we don't and probably can't know what the rules of other universes are. Complexity on this level may be humdrum and mundane to them, whoever they are. Number 9. We are an ancestor simulation. Answering the question of who the simulator is, if anyone, probably lies beyond any abilities we might have available to us in the universe. But it can be speculated upon. And here the option is that these simulators are us. In the far future, humans, or whatever we ultimately become, decide to look back and simulate what the universe once was, perhaps to probe their origins. This gets into sci-fi territory.
We're all dead and this is the afterlife.
We don't know what actually kicked off the creation of the universe.
We're the recycle bin.
Ultimately, if it's repeatable. Nature likes repeatability, and science bases itself on it.
I don't like
this
this
should
theory.
extend to the universe in general, opening up the question of whether we can create other universes, since nature obviously doesn't prohibit the creation of universes, or else we wouldn't be here at all. This opens up the possibility that far future humans might create universes of their own, perhaps to escape the death of their own progenitor universe. They might fine-tune and tailor that universe to be amenable for their life, perhaps even better than the one they originated in.
No, because
this
if you created your own universe,
far better.
Yeah, you create it
you
to
would
be
create
in your
it
image.
to be perfect.
Yeah.
So there wouldn't be any bloody asteroids creating global catastrophes and blah, blah, blah. You would make it so it is impossible to be harmed.
Yeah.
It would be like tranquility.
Especially if, like, you're going on your own history, like, oh, we had these bad things, we had that.
Yeah.
You'd be like,
you'd
make
learn
sure
from your mistakes.
Yeah.
You'd like, I'm going to make sure that this can't happen.
Yeah, make sure that asteroid doesn't pile into it in the year 4000.
For running simulations than the one they had started in. But it may also be that they want to explore their past, and that the simulation that is our reality is a sort of echo of what once was, explored by the simulators to learn of their origins, or perhaps relearn what it is like to be human. There are absolutely no indicators that this is the case, but it's an interesting thought that can't be ruled out.
That one seems more far-fetched than the others.
We are a computer simulation. This is the Matrix.
A simulation of a universe is a tricky thing, because one can easily get trapped in biases. Here there are more possible biases than can be counted, because every shred of our existence from the moment we are born and onward is defined by and happens within our universe. Outside it, we simply don't know what the rules are. Take the idea of a computer simulation, which is perhaps the most often cited example in simulation theory.
Yeah, so if there's any prick out there that's controlling
simulations on.
If you can hear me,
make me
stop
rich.
making bad decisions.
Make me rich. I want an M.
Computers. So it seems a natural thought. But computers are human-made constructions based on human-made concepts, such as numbers, that are designed to make use of the rules of the universe. That said, we have been enormously successful at using numbers and those rules to describe our universe, so it may hold true for anything outside the universe doing the simulating. It could in principle be a computer of some sort, but if so, is there a way to try to determine if something is doing the computing? Cue in the findings of physicist Dr. James Gates, who has noticed uncanny similarities in physics with that of a specific type of error-correcting computer code. This idea really is hidden in the mathematics of string theory and may not mean anything. And string theory may not be correct.
They just said error correcting code.
That was your theory,
I was saying about the catastrophes or deleting the viruses or trying to attempt to fix a program that's gone rogue.
Yeah. That's exactly what you said. Isn't
Yeah.
it mad?
He just said it in a lot smarter way.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to articulate
Hidden
it.
in the depths of string theory is Peter Stringfellow.
But it's an interesting thought nonetheless. Perhaps somewhere in new physics will be a way to test the simulation hypothesis. Number 7, the unknown simulator.
The unknown.
Talking about simulation theory is to skirt the fringes of science and philosophy. It's a kind of could be, but probably not testable idea.
True.
These are always problematic and generally lie outside of mainstream science. In general philosophy, and remember science is a philosophy, PhD means Doctor of Philosophy, these questions can be tackled more broadly. But again, they may end up always being an open question. But again, here we run into the question of unknowns and anthropomorphization.
We've constantly proved ourselves wrong over theories about the universe.
About everything.
Every time science evolves, we realise we've been wrong for the last
whatever amount
of time.
Human philosophy is, well, human. And there are no guarantees that anything running a simulation from outside the universe would conform to that. As a result, unknowns crop up everywhere in this question. And that includes the option that whatever is simulating the universe may never be understandable, and may have motives or means completely irrational to our minds.
So that's just true, isn't it? Because we think of everything as if it was human.
Yeah, but that's like the most incomprehensible theory going, because everything is unknown, so anything is possible.
Yeah, it's like Schrodinger's
with like
cat,
the computer theory, being the Matrix. That doesn't make sense, because if you was a computer program making the Matrix, you would make every single logical decision to have the most perfect running simulation, because you're a computer. That's what a computer does.
Exactly.
So that's gibberish.
Yeah. But what I did agree with is if there was a simulation creator, everyone's like, oh yeah, but they would have to have this logic. Well, no, if they were human like us, they would have that logic. But if they were of another species, you don't know what their fucking logic is. They're not us. They don't think, just the same as a dolphin doesn't think the same as a human. Same as a fish doesn't think like a human. It keeps swimming into the net. Oh, look at that fucking hook. I'm going to put that in my mouth.
Yeah.
Whereas a human would be like, oh, I learned not to put that hook in my mouth last time. It's just like...
Yeah, but that unknown theory, I don't understand that.
Yeah, there's too many variables. It's like pie in the sky sort of theory, that one.
This would be the non-understandable simulator, where the more you know about it, the less understandable it is. In short, it may not be a computer, it may not be a sentient being, it may not be sane, and it may not be anything you can conceive of.
Yeah, so the possibilities of it.
If you ever find evidence of its existence.
No.
Number 6, nature's true guise is simulations.
What?
The simple truth is we don't even know if reality is reality. We just know our own reality and base everything we do on it. At least most of us try to.
That's a mad statement that makes you think, oh, fuck. That statement's like completely true. Like your reality is only your reality.
Yeah. But that's just based on what is viewable.
Yeah. But it's a mad statement though, isn't it? That's like
you think
truest in its truest sense.
Thousands of years ago, humans didn't even know there was other planets floating around out there.
They didn't even know there was other land.
They thought it was a bloody, or you get you crazy flat earthers out there that think the earth is flat. But it's their own reality perceives things in whatever way.
Yeah.
But yeah, until we realised there was stars and other galaxies and all the rest of it.
Your reality was different.
We assumed that we was the own sole
proprietor.
Yeah, right. We was the only thing that ever existed.
Well, think of people back in the day, in history, that had never seen the sea. And then they see the sea for the first time and they're like, what the fuck?
No. It's just like now, even like if you went to the Amazon forest, for instance, like the Amazonian tribes that have never seen the modern world.
Yeah, they would kill you. Yeah. They'd think you're an alien.
You pull up in some Mercedes
Yeah.
They'd be like, what?
Time machine.
Ritual time.
Yeah.
But there are aspects to our reality that when you look at them in a certain way, they are utterly absurd. Take quantum mechanics.
Yeah, I've said this to you before.
You run into realities that look
it
more
defies
like
all laws
than
of
any reality in our day-to-day world.
What's the bloody word?
Physics.
Yeah, that's the one. Quantum mechanics defies all laws of physics. Everything they say about physics
is wrong.
Is completely blown out the water with quantum mechanics. Nothing makes sense.
So what we'll try and do, because Cole really likes quantum mechanics, we'll try and say as little as possible during this segment so we can all understand it. Because I guarantee you...
that is my problem, though. I understand quantum mechanics to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But trying to articulate it and explain it it's impossible.
Unless you're a scientist.
Because it makes you sound like a
loony
nut job. Yeah.
World of the huge. This includes virtual particles that pop in and out of existence from within the quantum foam, something from nothing, or the universe itself, which is also apparently something from nothing, or spooky action at a distance, where two particles can be entangled even at great distance and share instantaneous changes in state.
I've said that
or
to you
quantum
before.
Non-locality, where a particle can disappear and reappear halfway across the universe just by a random chance. Or the infamous double-slit experiment, collapsing a particle's wave function just by an observation. The world of the small is not the same reality we experience in the world of the huge, but it's a reality nonetheless, to the point that if certain quantum effects didn't exist, our technology wouldn't work. Or take it to the realm of the huge, dark matter. Think about what exactly is proposed when invoking dark matter. Most of the universe must be made
That's
of
still an
invisible matter
unanswered
that
question.
can pass through walls.
They haven't proved
While it
that
must be
dark
there
matter
to
actually
explain the
exists.
gravitational effects we see, providing our understanding of gravity at huge scales is correct, it really amounts to a kind of scientific ghost story. Matter that is, but isn't. Again, certain properties of the universe more resemble simulations than an absolute reality. As mind-bending as that is, also within physics are interpretations of reality, such as the many worlds interpretation, where reality spawns alternative realities infinitely. Everything that is possible to happen does so in different timelines. That idea actually exists in mainstream physics, but it's absurd, even if it's real and correct. This would be beyond billions, really infinite timelines, all representing different realities. Again, could it be simpler that nature is a simulator rather than a reality and spawns billions of simulations, all centered on the same theme? We'll almost certainly never know, but there is a somewhat chilling proposition that the simulator, like nature, is completely unthinking, and that we simply live in a natural process, as weird as that may be.
Yeah, but that
Number
actually
5,
makes sense.
Fever dreams of a Boltzmann brain.
The simulation is around us and we're just living in the simulation.
Yeah, but it's unthinking.
Yeah.
So whatever happens.
Yeah.
Which just goes back to a computer simulation or somewhere along them lines.
Yeah.
Everything would think logically. With nature, there is no logic.
No.
Nature is just pure survival. It does what it needs to do to survive.
Yeah. Yeah. So far, that seemed like the most plausible. If we are in a simulation, that's...
Yeah, but it's hard because you can pick points from every single one that they've put out there, but then you can pick bits that are just... It doesn't make sense. Like, it's completely incomprehensible.
See, if me and you picked a part of each of them and called it the Chris and Cole theory, it would probably fit into...
Give me a Nobel Prize.
Yeah. We'd probably be on the money.
But then, like, every simulation would theoretically need a creator.
Yeah.
So it still doesn't answer the question.
Yeah.
Like this, I know this is based on like, what are we in? 10
what
solutions to the
if
simulation.
We are. Yeah.
But the next question is, who created the bloody simulation in the first place?
Lord Vader. That's my theory. Dun, dun, dun.
The moon's going to be the Death Star.
Yeah. Or it was. He died a long time ago. Here's my father. I've lost my hand. Help.
The idea of infinite time looms large in cosmology. There are only two options. Either time extends infinitely into the future, or it doesn't. Both options come with some disturbing possibilities. If time does not go on infinitely, then what stops it?
Yeah.
Does that imply an ultimate end of the universe?
What?
If it does extend infinitely in the future, it's even worse, because it means that everything that can happen will happen.
Oh, I get it. I was thinking like from a normal perspective, but we're thinking I'm in a simulation perspective. So obviously, if it's a simulation will either have an end date or infinite.
Yeah, because if it had a start date, it's got to have an end date.
Yeah. Or it is infinite. And they just run it and then whatever. I get what you're saying. At first, I didn't truly understand it.
But then time was a scale that was created by us to understand, like day, night.
Yeah. But time isn't a measurement of... It's a measurement of distance. So, time...
It depends what scenario you're talking about.
Yeah, no, time. The way time is, so 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, is based on the position of the sun around the Earth.
Yeah.
So it's a measurement of distance. But yeah, we came up with the concept of time. Or fucking did we?
Yeah, because that's...
Was it part of the simulation?
That's true.
If you wait long enough. This also applies to an infinite universe, which ours could be. Couple an infinite universe with an infinite amount of time, and strange things can happen. This evokes the Boltzmann brain thought experiment, first proposed by physicist Ludwig Boltzmann in 1896. It goes like this. If you wait long enough, particles will come together to form objects of any complexity, including a conscious thinking brain, if only momentarily. In an otherwise dead and dark future universe, wisps of consciousness will repeatedly arise. If one of those wisps of awareness were to persist for long enough time to look around, see the universe as a lonely black nothing, and concoct either a simulation of what it was once like, or invent a dream of an ideal or fantasy universe. It could be what we see. We could be the fever dreams of a Boltzmann brain supercomputer.
Right, this theory's gone right over my head.
This one also comes with some baggage, however.
Yeah, the beginning
In some
part.
theories about cosmology, a concerning possibility is that our own human
And then it
brains
just
are
went,
far more likely to arise from fluctuations, complete with false memories, than they are in how they actually appear to have come about.
Right, we're getting into the realm
opening
of
up the possibility
bleeding
that we are
sci-fi
not
here.
what we see.
False
And
memories.
ourselves
Like the part where
are
it said like
Boltzmann
time
brains.
is endless and you can create
Number 4.
like over an unlimited amount of time. Consciousness was created,
Even fleeting.
and it's possible to be recreated again over an infinite amount of time. That I've sort of understood.
Yeah.
But the rest of it
The
is
rest
just
of it.
gone.
Like you could get false memories. What? From infinite years ago? Makes no sense.
Oh, what the hell is it? The brain in a vat matrix.
Or the brain in a VAT
It's
matrix.
constantly getting charged. Charged money, mate. You breathe,
15%.
charge. You drank,
Actually, it's
charge.
true.
You took a step, charge.
It's true though. Everything's VAT. We're paying VAT on everything.
Yeah.
The brain in a vat matrix. This concept is used in philosophy for thought experiments.
Like a test tube
It
brain.
provides a method of thinking about exactly what reality, truth, mind, and so on actually are. It's an old idea, going back ultimately to René Descartes' evil demon thought experiment. And in its modern form simply
did he just
posits
say?
that if you could put a living
Demon
brain in a
Ricardo.
jar, give it all the nutrients and oxygen it needs to survive, and then connect it up to a supercomputer that feeds it sensory information, then it would be a kind of simulation, indistinguishable from a real world, even though it may not be any such thing. This is very similar to what was depicted in the Matrix movies, where an out-of-control artificial intelligence keeps humanity captive by keeping their physical bodies confined to pods and feeds them sensory information of a world very much unlike reality. You can never prove nor disprove this one. There's always a chance that the simulation takes the form of the brain in a vat, and that's what we are, meaning that in some sense, we may live in the Matrix. Mr. Anderson, indeed. Number 3. You are the simulator.
Dun dun dun!
Cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. Words made famous once again by René Descartes. The idea here is that the simulator is actually you, in some other reality modeling a different or perhaps identical version of yourself. After all, who wouldn't want to take a look at an alternate reality version of oneself? Here the motive of simulation really just
this is
boils
my
down
own
to
simulation.
curiosity about oneself.
To
and
me,
alternate
the
versions
simulator,
thereof.
you're a dickhead.
And while we don't have
This
the
sucks.
capability of running simulations of this nature, some other version of ourselves may. This aspect may be related in some way to the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics, where an original simulation diverges from the moment of its inception onward into infinite parallel realities, all being simulations. This one, however, seems the least likely, because the resources involved would be titanic, at least from our perspective. On the other hand, in an alternate universe, the word resources may have a completely different meaning.
No.
It may not matter, in which
Technically,
case,
if
as
everything's
simulations,
infinite, don't
we would
matter.
be very different indeed from our alternate
resources, does it?
counterparts doing the simulating. It's a bit disturbing, though, to think of oneself merely as a guise of something else. Number 2. Echoes of universes. One of the biggest questions in cosmology is if there were previous or will be future iterations of the universe. This is Roger Penrose's cyclic cosmology, where a Big Bang happens, the universe exists for a time, and then another Big Bang starts the process over, and that the evidence of this may be searched for in the cosmic microwave background radiation.
It's
Whether this
static
is
on
the
my
case
TV.
remains to be seen, but it does open up the possibility of a scientific simulation designed to illustrate those cosmic cycles. It goes like this. Some future universe decides it wants to simulate and model a previous iteration of their universe for scientific study. It doesn't need to be perfectly accurate. It just needs to tick a few boxes for the simulating civilization's objectives. The result is that we exist in some future universe's scientific investigations into cyclic cosmology. One can only hope
This
that
is
they
all
don't
going over my
decide
head a bit
anytime
now.
soon that their objectives have been met and shut the simulation down.
But
Shut
then
it down.
if he said that you get a universe that runs its time and then a new universe gets created,
Yeah, why did the universe decide to do it?
but then the following universe that comes afterwards would destroy
The previous
the
universe.
current existing universe.
Yeah. And secondly of all, why would the universe decide to create a simulation? What's the universe got to do with it? Because that was one thing he said. Or if the universe creates a simulation, I'm like, who's the universe? What's the universe? Why is the universe?
Yeah, the universe is simulating itself
Yeah.
to
Why?
see what happens in different scenarios,
Why would it do that? Why would it have that?
to see what the outcomes are.
Yeah.
It's like playing a game of like Age of Empires and changing your settings on different games and being like, right, this time I'm going to have this, 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 and this. Next
mad,
time
isn't it?
I'm going to have this, 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 and this.
That's true. That's very true. The mirror hypothesis. Some of these hypotheses are getting
Number
really
1,
far-fetched.
the mirror hypothesis. Another interesting idea within cosmology is Neil Turok's concept of a two-sided universe, one where time moves forward, stretching from the point of the Big Bang, and an anti-universe that stretches backwards. If this is indeed how the universe works, it's a natural thing to investigate if you can, and have advanced enough technology, is to probe the other universe. If that's impossible,
But
you
that-
might model it instead, and
That-
thus
Boggles my brain, right? Because if they both stem from the same point,
Yeah.
and you're saying one runs backwards, the other runs forward,
Yeah.
are they both running at the same speed? And then if the one that runs backwards gets to its
end
start
point.
point before
Yeah.
the one that runs forward gets to its end point,
Yeah.
what happens?
We are now in the backwards world.
Does it then just go into the running forward time and carry on, or does it stop at its start point
It creates.
and then take a U-turn and go
It
forward
it
in the opposite direction?
It turns it into a consciousness, even for a fleeting moment, and gives it false memories, like the other one.
creating a simulation. Only a highly advanced civilization could ever do this. The computing power would be beyond anything we can imagine. But if it were possible, then our universe would then be a model running forwards in time, in an anti-universe running backwards in time. That might create a very strange set of affairs for the anti-universe counterparts, where they start out wildly technologically advanced, then slowly lose it before de-evolving until their world.
That's like that film Ideology. Or what's the bloody film called?
Benjamin Button.
No. Ideological or something like that. Is that the human race starts out
intelligent and then
turns into dumbasses.
Well, and then non-existent, as the process as we know it runs in reverse. Eventually the whole thing stops at the moment of the Big Bang. Granted, this is highly speculative based on cosmological ideas that would be very difficult to prove, but then our own universe is beyond strange. What exactly is it, other than all that ever was, is, and ever will be?
Sounds like Bret Hart.
It would have made more sense if he had said mirrored universes that both run opposite,
but I leave you with this idea:
away from each other.
Does any kind of simulator of universes have to be conscious of thinking at all? We probably can't ever know.
Or maybe that goes back to what I said about black holes and white holes.
Oh, maybe you go in the black hole and it runs.
It's the mirror image of it.
Oh, yeah.
The white hole is spitting it out in one direction. The black hole is sucking the universe in the other direction.
And making it go backwards.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I think you've got it.
The key is black holes, mate. Yeah. Which is why we're never going to find out how everything exists. Because you can't go in one without being stretched into atoms.
Like that.
Yeah. But then that's the theory anyway, because they don't know.
I think if you took a little bit of all of those theories, you'd probably have a more coherent theory than any individual one of them.
Yeah, but out of them 10 theories, you could come up with another million other theories that...
True.
Like there's literally endless amounts of theories that you can come up with.
Which goes into that endless theory one.
Yeah.
So you go.
That was a mind-boggling video.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure which simulation I'm in. But if it's a simulation that I have created for myself, I hate you, me, in whatever timeline you're from.
The weird thing is, if we're in a simulation, right, we've now created games that we can simulate our games. So we're a simulation playing simulations. Maybe that's where it rooted from.
We'll leave you with that
in a roots like, I need simulation.
Yeah.
I am a simulation.
Yeah. Maybe the reason we created such good simulations in our own world is because, like you say, we got so used to being the simulation. Madness.
Crazy. Boggles the brain.
Well, if you
that was a good one. I like that.
Yeah. If you've still got your brain at the end of this, let us know which theory you believe.
Yeah. And if there wasn't one of them theories, then feel free to
give us your theory.
Tell us one of the theories not listed in the video.
And we'll give you a score out of 10.
Yeah. We'll either tell you you're talking gibberish or we'll, I don't know.
On that note, we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.